And now the music subsided. Chance for the players just to take stock. All about managing pre-match nerves at the moment. Now time to enjoy the national anthems. Starting with Cameroun. The rally cry. And that was warmly appreciated, certainly by the Cameroon players. That was the rallying song, the Chaine de ralliement, and now for the anthem of the host. The national anthem of Cape Verde, Liberty. And let's hope they can give free rein to their free-flowing football this afternoon. Conditions not what you'd expect at the tail end of summer. But then, once you're in the Atlantic, an island, you have to expect whatever the weather throws at you. Now the two captains. The man on the right needs no introduction. Vincent Aboubakar, absolute legend for the indomitable Lions of Cameroon. And then Ryan Mendes, he's the captain for Cape Verde. Two strikers as captains. You don't get that all the time. Ryan Mendes, not even in the squad for the previous victory against Mauritius. Three changes then. João Paulo comes in at left back. Ryan Mendes, you've just seen, and Arcanjo, replacing Sidney Cabral, Willy Semedo, and Montero, respectively. For Cameroon, three changes across their back four. Back into the starting 11 come Nuhu at left back, Christopher Wu in central defence, and Chachua, new signing for Wolverhampton Wanderers. And then in midfield, we see the return of Carlos Baleba. The front three remains the same. Nkudu keeps his place after scoring in that home victory against bottom club Eswatini. And look at this driving rain. There, Mendes setting the tone, encouraging the fans to get behind the team. Not sure they can read that. Yannick Semedo, it's a message for him. Yannick Semedo playing in midfield. There's Manchester United's Brian Bumo. Didn't score in the previous game, but he was in fine form, terrorising the defence of Eswatini. And that's something that Cape Verde must do their very best to avoid. Easier said than done. And it will be Cameroun to kick off. It looks like Anguissa, the man who will set the ball rolling here. Cameroun, of course, playing in their trademark dark green tops and red shorts. Cape Verde in all white, and we're underway. Straight back to the goalkeeper, giving Andre Onana his first touch of the ball. Onana goes long, not a bad tactic. Top surface of this pitch is bound to be slippy with all this rain we've had. And what that does is it pins the host back in their own half. And here come Cameroun again. There's a switch to Chachua. Like I say, just joined the Premier League, just joined Wolverhampton Wanderers, replacing Moroccan Ryan Ait Noor. Here he is again, Chachua. Misses it, leaves it to Bumo. Pass goes astray. Cape Verde, they decide to play out. Which team will settle first will be crucial in this game. Cameroun won the reverse fixture handsomely, 4-1. As the cross comes in, here's a chance. Hacked away, not convincingly. Not a clear-cut chance. Anguissa, it's a good foot in. Oh, it's scrappy. Now a little bit of a chance for Livramento. Holds up the plate, that was scrappy. Anguissa collects. Half a chance there for the Blue Sharks. Not that they're wearing blue today, Cape Verde. Oh, lovely drop of the shoulder. Beats one, fouled by the second. And that was silky play. That's Saleba, back in the starting 11. That's Babusta, coach of the hosts, Cape Verde. Beautiful turn by Baleba. Plays his football for Brighton in the English Premier League. Free kick for Cameroun. To be taken by Nkudu. Swung over to the far post, coming in. Well, he was late. Too late to control the header. Still, gives the thumb up, does Christopher Wu. Good delivery in the end. Maybe the bounce off the fast surface. Just getting beyond Wu, the central defender. 4 Cameroonian shirts in the final third, looking to pile pressure on this defence. Here's Vuzinha. Wisely goes long, clears the halfway line. Good first touch and a second. Cape Verde retreat. Not sure if Yannick Sameda took the best option there. Here he is again. Still with Cape Verde, but not for long. Free kick. They're going to be careful there. Not a foul, of course, but it's against the spirit of the game. World Cup qualifiers. Always a shot window. Organisers don't like to see that type of descent. Here's a chance again. Yeah, just straight offside. Cameroon on the attack. Easily dealt with. Just about doing enough. Cape Verde. That's good, powerful play. And nicely tidied up by Kevin Pina. Cleared by Lopez. Drum beat in the background, setting the tone. And that's a nice turn before he was fouled by Livramento. Quickly taken. Akanjo. Man didn't play in the previous game. Wild effort. Worth a shot, why not? On target by Giovanni Cabral. Scored a goal in the previous game against Mauritius. Chachua. Leaves it to Wu. Two fullbacks. Really far upfield, Bomo. That's a lovely pass that side of the boot. Well kept in. Very well kept in. Asking questions of the opposition defence. Bomo. Well, he couldn't control it. As best he tried, Akanjo. Well played, they come away with it. Chance of the counter here, Livramento. It's 2 against 5, Livramento into the penalty area. Good shot, good save, Onana. Clean. Vital interception. Just to calm things down. Best chance of the game so far. Fell to the hosts. Well played, Livramento. He had no right to get through there, but got through he did. Tidying up by Kanjo. Dini. Switching play. It's a patient build-up by Cape Verde. Pina. Throwing to the hosts. Ball just got stuck under his feet. Sao Paulo. There's a shot. Looked to be speculative by Giovanni Cabral. Here they come again. Cabral appeals for a penalty. Dismissed by the referee. And he can't believe it, can Cabral. Cameroon quick to counter. Cameroonian player down on the running track. Referee's got to get a handle on the game. Well, Ryan Mendes is pointing to his player down. That's Giovanni Cabral. Lovely flick, a nice dummy by Cabral. He rather made a meal of it. Lovely back heel though by Livramento. There's the dummy. Now there is contact with Wayomo. And the referee can go check on the health of the Cameroonian player, who's since picked himself up. It will be a throw-in to Cameroon, and the home fans aren't best pleased. Lively start to this game in wretched conditions here in Praia, capital of the biggest island. Great running by Sao Paulo. Well, they'll be pleased to see him back in the starting 11. Will Cape Verde. Cabral. Stretching the play again are the Blue Sharks. Dini Borges. No press from Cameroun. They're happy to keep their position. Route one. And he failed to intercept it. Recovered well. Second time of asking. Well played. Cameroun come away. With the impression referee is going to have a busy old afternoon here. Chachua made himself available. Christophe Wu. Pass didn't reach its target. Gini gets the ball back from Roberto Lopez. Paulo strokes the ball upfield. Good solid challenge. Paulo hooks the ball forward. Well won by Wu. Safety first by the home side. Vorzinha. That trusty left boot. That's a good header by Chachua. Letting his marker know he's there. Well, the defence of Cameroun at walking pace. Lovely burst of speed by Wu. Stretching the play. He gets support. They haven't come down this left channel for a while. There's Nkudu. And Gisa. Just biding his time, seeing if he could get away with a pass. Kept it simple. And Gisa. Steady influence in midfield. Alongside Ongle, as he was in the previous game. Baleba back in the starting 11 for Marc Brice. 63-year-old Belgium. Deep cross. Cameroun are unbeaten in this group, and yet they're in second place. That's because they've drawn 3 of their 4 away games. And they've drawn all 3, I should say. This is their 4th. That's the man known as Bubista, Pedro Brito. And that's a good example of how Cape Verde, like a lot of Portuguese-speaking African nations, they do like to adopt nicknames. We see that in the case of the central defender, Dini, central midfielder, Pina, Roberto Lopez as well. He's known as Pico. Can get confusing. This is another Vorzinha. That's his go-to. Chachua equal to it. Flag stays down. Cabral cuts inside. Thought about the shot. Left it to Mendes. Well, they weren't on the same page there. Bummel. And Gisa. Just a lovely touch. That's terrific play. Appeals. Referee's not interested. Very, very nearly got the ball back off the Cameroun marker. Very fine margins at this level of international football. Christophe Wu. Checks, leaves it to Anguissa. Bomo, nicely moved forward. It's a heavy touch. Manages to keep the ball alive. Just Chachua. Not for long. Throw in. Cape Verde. Well, Mark Brice is well wrapped up against the elements. Wretched conditions. It makes you wonder what they're going to do to that pitch. Playing okay for the minute. If the rain persists, makes you wonder. Cameroun. Ball drilled in. Abubakar. The bomber will leave that to go out of play. Well, after a lively start with chances at both ends, games become a little bit cagey. So much at stake. 1 point in it between these two. Camera fixing on Bobista. Chachua falls backwards. And Christopher Wu helps it all the way back to Andre Onana. Onana, strong rumour in England that he's about to leave Manchester United and go to Turkey. His club have just signed a new goalkeeper. And his teammates and his coach will be hoping that he's not too destabilised by that news. Free header. Didn't deal with it too well though, Boyomo. Nearly scored a goal in the previous match. Not the reverse fixture, but the match last week, the 3-0 win against Eswatini. So the intensity has completely dropped out of this match after that breakneck start. Cameroun looking to reintroduce it. Anguissa pulling the strings, central midfield. Mbomo. Nice 1-2. Okay, Verde seem to be well set up in defence. They'll need to be with this free scoring Cameroon side. That said though, most of Cameroon's goals have come at home. They've scored 15, 13 of them have come in Cameroon at the Fortress. It really has been as well in Yaoundé, the Amadou Ahidjo Stadium. They played the one home game in Douala as well. As well played Livramento. João Paulo expecting the pass. And here he is. Worked over to the right. Cameroon win the ball back. And Kudu dropping back into defence. And Cameroon win the free kick. Clear foul. Kevin Pena, the culprit, fouling Ongla. Will be a game of attrition here. Wu Picks out Anguissa. Here they come. Chachua. Since the kickoff, he's been really far forward. It's Chachua. Delayed referee's whistle. Playing the advantage, no doubt. Those home fans. And that's why they call the Blue Sharks Cape Verde. Their home kit usually is blue shirts and blue shorts, but obviously that would have been a slight clash with Cameroun. Cameroun must have won the toss. And Cape Verde won't mind that one bit. 0-0. Free kick. Semedo floats it to the edge of the penalty area. It was won by Ryan Mendes and kept alive. Well played by Pico. Roberto Lopez, the man born in Ireland, in Dublin. Used to work in a bank. Now he's crunching different kind of numbers in the form of opposition attacks. Onana takes his time. Big clearance. Rather vastly experienced. Cameroon goalkeeper. Played at the highest levels of football. The Premier League. Before that, Italy's Serie A. Dutch Eredivisie with Ajax, of course. Yeah, just slight delay. Looks like Anguissa picked up a knock. Looks okay. Got to run it off, whatever it was. Well, the game sorely lacking in rhythm, which makes it hard to defend. Bumo plays on the right as an inside-out winger. A little bit of injection of speed with that pass. You go back to the tippy-tappy passing. And again, every white shirt back in his defense, not just defensive half, but defensive third. Akanjo moves forward. And Bumo collects. Almost a basketball style block there. Cape Verde. Oh, lovely back heel by Livramento. We've seen him do that before. Bumo. Nice layoff to Chachua. Defence is getting the upper hand here, certainly in these 50-50s. There's the low. Chachua gets on with it. Abubakar protesting. He thinks that challenge is a little bit too physical. We're past the halfway point of these opening 45 minutes. Very tight game. Very cagey one as well. Especially when you compare it to the 4-1 scoreline in the reverse fixture. You need a good memory for that. You have to go back to June of last year. Switch made. Good vision. Great first touch. Nkudu. One-on-one. Drills the ball in. The ball goes out. That's why Nkudu kept his place in the squad. There is competition on that left flank. And Gamalu to name but one. Now, did that get a touch? I'm not convinced. Although they're shaping up for a corner. It is a corner. Must have come off Steven Moreira. The Cape Verde fullback, right back. Kudu. Stalls. Second attempt. Good delivery. And an equally good two-fisted punch. Cape Verde nearly come away with it. More speed, less haste. Abubakar tries to turn. Shot, charge down. Referee gets out of the way. Here comes the charge. Arcanjo. He's isolated, needs support. He's got the free kick though. Foul by Nkudu. Cameroun kicked the ball away. Got to be careful. You've seen yellow cards brandished for less than that. Here's Arcanjo. Up against the left back, Nuu. There's Nkudu. Charging back. Who kicks the ball away? We'll never know. 25 minutes gone. Still 0-0. As I was saying, Cameroun were already leading at this stage in the reverse fixture. In fact, they were already 2 goals up. Abubakar scored twice that day. One of them from the penalty spot. Penalty kick, I should say. Yannick Semedo. Good delivery, beats the wall. And Gisa with a clearing header. Bomo. It's a long back pass. Goalkeeper Vuzinha, as cool as a cucumber. Didn't panic at all. And Gisa goes down. Cape Verde not too pleased with that decision. Well, the good news is the sun's trying to come out and the rain's let up. Hopefully it will dry off the pitch. Misplaced pass. Here's Bobista. Or Pedro Brito, if you're old school. Like 2 names. All the way back to Onana. Christophe Wu. Cameroun just beginning to get into the game more and more. Good delivery to the far post and an easy take by Vuzinha. Abubakar, well, he had to go for it to the striker. I think the defence of Cape Verde know that, and so does the goalkeeper. All part of the game. Yeah, the fans of the Blue Sharks, despite the weather, they're enjoying themselves. And as I say, sun's popped its head out, and the rain has finally stopped. It's been a while since we had a clear-cut chance in this game. But then, we're at the business end of World Cup qualifying. This is the 8th game of 10. 2 more games to come next month in October. And you've got to say, looking at those, Cameroun look to have the easier run in. They play at home to Angola, and then they travel to 5th place Mauritius. As for Cape Verde, their next game is away against Libya. Libya, who were just 2 points behind them. Libya played yesterday ahead of this game. And they comfortably beat Eswatini, the bottom club, 2-0. There's a chance. Ball played through the middle. Livramento onto it. Good control. Lays it off. A little bit too wide. Here they come again. Easy take for Onana. Better though by the host. The Blue Sharks looking menacing. Christophe Wu starts the build-up. Boyomo. You do get the impression that next game for Cape Verde away in Libya, as they defend here, could prove crucial. Well, it's cat and mouse between these two at the moment. Nicknames of the Atlas Lions against the Blue Sharks. Two of the apex predators of the animal kingdom, but it is more cat and mouse. No disrespect to either, but it is what it is. Well, he's waiting for the referee's whistle there, Niu. Didn't come, and he found himself in trouble. Cameroun, that's a lovely burst over the halfway line. He keeps going, still going. Terrific run. Nearly went all the way. Nice idea. Ball played down the channel. Showed a little bit too much of it to Niu. Still with the host. Well, that's a pity. Yannick Semedo way off target with that shot. But positive signs, the game's beginning to open up. End-to-end action, chances at both ends. Onana, slowing the pace down. Here's a shot by Semedo. Way off target, never going to bother Onana like that. I can tell you, the club Onana is going to is Trabzonspor. Eventually cleared, ball stays in play. Nuhu. Lovely ball looking for Bummel. Solid challenge. Took out the winger. Not sure that was fair. And that's a foul by Wu. Referee just telling him to calm down. Frustration entering the Cameroon squad there. Not with that fan. She continues to wave the flag. Wu tangling with Livramento. Well held up. He nearly had his pocket picked though by Ryan Mendes, the captain. Lovely play. Baleba. Not quite sure what he intended there. Thought he was looking to release Burmo. Burmo acknowledges the play. Had he spotted the goalkeeper off his line? Here's the earlier incident, the challenge on Burmo. Might be lucky to get away with that. That's a bold back pass, as is that. Vuzinha, well, he was expecting it, but he was still put under pressure by his teammates there. Cameroun advancing up the pitch, just beginning to turn the screw. Anguissa. He plays his football in Napoli. Italian champions, of course. Well, I think the crowd have been so starved of excitement and actions. You'd be surprised if they had a Mexican wave going on. That's causing the hooplas. Cameroun having trouble getting out of their own half. Well played, because he had an opponent nipping at his heels there. Change of direction by Abubakar. Abubakar dropping, trying to create play. Easy for Vuzinha from the talismanic striker of Cameroun. Kudu acknowledging the play by his captain. Vert falls nicely, very nicely to Cabral. Poor ball, looking for Livramento, nowhere near him. Ryan Mendes, Giovanni Cabral gets the ball back by Pina. Cabral, that's good defending by Wu, really good. Cabral goes to ground again. We've seen that before. And Bomo didn't get the pass off, but he gets the throw in. He really is a go-to player, and Bomo rarely gives the ball away, always makes himself available like that. Bomo. Well, kiss of death from this commentator. His final pass went astray. Boyomo. Patient build-up along the flank, and Kudu. Well played, full stretch, Yannick Semedo. Cuts the ball out. And we go all the way back. Well, here's that chance again for Cabral. Well, on second viewing, lovely weighted pass. Cabral, there's the burst of speed. Yeah, that's the better angle. The reverse angle shows Giovanni Cabral went down all by himself. Really good upper body strength. Wants it back again. That's a good sign. Mark Priest will appreciate that. The players are hungry for the ball. Wu plays his football in France at Stade Rennais. Terrific ball to Chachua. A little bit of space. Ball just bounced unkindly. Couldn't control it. Abubakar to Bomo. Nice idea. Anguissa with the final pass. Well, they got the acknowledgement. It was a good idea at any rate. Vuzinha sensing his team are slightly under the cosh, urging them up front. And they've listened to his message. Vuzinha goes long to relieve the pressure. Easy. That's food and drink for this Cameroon defence. Ball bounces kindly for Livramento. Showed too much of it. And a heavy pass. Neither team really 100% at ease. Giovanni Cabral leaves it to his left back, João Paulo, who gets it back. And he was appended, Arcanjo. And that comes to nothing. Chachua. Well, Abubakar started that, holding the ball up well. Burmo, he felt that. The guilty party, Dini Borges. First there, and then lunging in. That's got to be a foul. Lucky to get away with a yellow card there. Referee in conversation with Babista. Quite why? That decision strikes me as black and white. A few boos and cheers coming from the home fans. Well, they've paid good money. It hasn't been a classic. Far from it. 4 minutes to go till half time. 4 minutes of regulation time anyway. Game deadlocked at 0-0. Cape Verde lead the group ahead of Cameroun by just one single point. Cameroun unbeaten in their 7 games, but yet to win on the road away from home. Walking pace along the back four. Although that's on Gisa. Dropping to help out. Lovely back heel. Well, that's maybe just what this game needs. A moment of magic to break the deadlock. And it could come from a moment of inspiration. Someone dipping into their box of tricks. We know that Cameroon strike force, well capable of goals. Free scoring, but mainly at home. That's the problem. They don't travel well. Yet to win away from home. Jackson Chachua. Well intercepted. Arcanjo. Well, the pass had to be perfect. It wasn't bad, but strangely, his teammate Cabral just seemed to hold up. Seemed to break his run. Inviting the challenge. Well, looking at the balance of play in the past 5-10 minutes, it's almost as if Cameroon look to be happy with the draw. That can hardly be right. They don't want to go into the lottery of second place qualifying. Every African nation, especially the heavyweights, they want to win their group. And then they'll have nothing to worry about until next summer. Well, apart from the small matter of the Africa Cup of Nations, it's a busy, busy 12 months coming up for African clubs. Not even. Busy 10 months. African nations, not clubs. Zinha, not in a hurry at all. The Cape Verde goalkeeper. Both teams look as if they're ready for the half-time break. No press by Cameroun, just Abubakar. That's how it is in their 4-2-3-1 system. But the crucial thing now for both sides is not to concede a soft goal. That changes the dynamic of the game. It's a psychological hammer blow if you do. It's a game changer for players and coach. Coach doesn't want to change his half-time team talk. And the 45 minutes is up, and we'll have 2 minutes stoppage time added on. And there were stoppages. It was the double whammy injury. A player from both sides, thankfully nothing serious. Throw in. Well, the coach's body language for Cameroun, Mark Breeze, tells the story. Arms folded, leaning back in his seat. Eight times Cameroun have reached the World Cup finals. Those fans have never supported their team in the World Cup. Will this be their year? Yellow card, first of the game, goes to Steven Moreira. Tries to explain himself, but referee's decision is final. Well, the game's been played in a good spirit. Hasn't been dirty. That's good to see. And we're into the final minutes of this stoppage time. Nkudu puts a good ball in. Good save. Great save by Bozinia. The Cameroon subs up off the bench. Relief for Bubista. Well, the best chance of the game comes in the closing seconds of the half. Nkudu sensing a weakness after Moreira's yellow card. The fans suddenly find their voice. Bummel. That's a foul, surely. On Cabral. Worth a second look. Good ball in by Nkudu. How about that for a save? On Bummel. Gives Cabral a helping hand. And that is the half-time whistle. Referee deep in conversation with Anguissa. So at least we end on a high note. The half-time score here. Cape Verde 0, Cameroun 0. And the capital, Praia. Well, it has been far from a classic game of African World Cup qualifying. And yet the fans have found their voice after that scare in the closing seconds for Cape Verde. Bozinia keeping them in the game and with a clean sheet. And let's just hope there are more chances in the second half than in the first. But chances were few and far between. Everything to play for. Join us in just under 15 minutes.
Shoot the motion. Chaine, décodeur, ainsi qu'on le parle.
Welcome back to this World Cup qualifier in Group D. And straight away, the breaking news is that Cape Verde have made the first substitution of the game. Off goes Telmo Arcanjo, and he's replaced by the man he replaced, Montero, the number 10, Jamiro Montero. He had his moments, I thought, did Arcanjo. But Bobista has decided the change is what's needed, and that's what his team have got. And it will be the host to kick off in the form of their striker, Delon Livramento. No changes, as I can see, to Cameroun starting 11 as the second half gets underway. If you're just joining us, scoreline locked at 0-0. Both teams keen for the victory. Well, that's an understatement. Desperate, especially Cameroun. Cape Verde lead this Group D by just a single point. Cameroun unbeaten. Ambitious shot. Well, worth an effort. Goalkeeper Vozinha was off his line. That would have been spectacular. I was describing how maybe a moment of magic was what was needed to break the deadlock. And we would have certainly got that. Carlos Baleba shot gone in. Bozinha, Cape Verde, play out from the back. Nice header on by Ryan Mendes. Livramento looks up, he's appealing for a foul. That's a good solid challenge in. Well, one back shot comes in. Well wide. That's a pity. By Kevin Pina. Cabral is down. Pina clasps his hands together in a game of few and far chances. He knows that could have been something. Cabral's down and he's clutching his right knee. Knee's a problem. This is a shot by Pina. Way off target in the end. And there you can see, just as he made the shot, Cabral hopping mad. Didn't quite see the incident. Out comes the magic spray. Oh, this game is perfectly poised. I said that Cameroun are unbeaten, but they have a bad record away from home. They've drawn 3, and that's why they're in second place. As for Cape Verde, well, they're unbeaten at home. They've only played the 3 games, but they're not prolific. They've won 3, they've won 2 and drawn 1 of them. As Cabral makes his way off, and a substitute warms up, and you've got to think that's just in case. Giovanni Cabral looks like he's okay and ready to come back onto the pitch. Well, Cape Verde, they're not prolific goal scorers. They've only scored 2 goals at home and they've conceded none. Nkudu, the man who created that golden chance at the end of the first half, and very nearly winning the ball back. Helped down the line by Moreira. Cabral, he's still clutching. Well, this time not the knee, but his hamstring. Hamstring's a very sensitive part of a footballer's body. Well, those fans of the Blue Sharks have gone very quiet. That's Cabral. And as he was trying to win the ball from Tolonuru, he suddenly clutched his left buttock and he's gone down again, and that could be the end of Giovanni Cabral's game in this African World Cup qualifier. Well, that is a blow. The man who scored in the previous game, the man who set them on their way against Mauritius. Well, at least he doesn't need a stretcher. Referee's asking him to leave the pitch, and Abu Bista has got a big decision to make. His captain, Ryan Mendes, has a quick word. Didn't need the stretcher, but is he fit to continue? Well, he's hugging the byline, and for all the world, it looks like he wants to come back on. Well, that's confusing. Meanwhile, Cameroun win a corner kick. And we haven't seen too many of them in this game. Well, let's sit back and enjoy the slow motion. Look at the speed. Desperate lunge at the death by Boyomo. He did well not to make contact. Now Cameroun, they have been rocked. They're playing for their World Cup chances here. And Bomo dispossessed in the penalty area. Onana, despite his world-class pedigree, couldn't prevent Livramento from finishing the job after that superb solo run. Nkudu. Nice pass, a little bit too much on it for Anguissa. Vuzinha. Well, there's the defender, I should say. Roberto Lopez just urging all his teammates just to slow down a little bit. Tranquila, as they'd say on the islands. Now, Cape Verde, they are what? 30 minutes, 35 minutes away from taking the scalp of Cameroon. A lot of football to be played yet, though. Overran that, showed way too much of it. Well, they say you're never as vulnerable as when you've just scored a goal, especially when you've taken the lead, especially in such a high stakes, intense game. Nkudu goes past his marker, Moreira. Anguissa, desperate challenge and interception. Ryan Mendes getting a bit too flashy there, the captain, giving the ball away. He wins it back though, riding his luck. Cameroon go down the other channel. The fullback, Chachua, charged down, pinned back, and Bomo tidies up. Christophe Wu. The sense of urgency only too clear for Cameroon. Here they come again. Good ball into space. Teasing ball in, looking for Bomo. That was by the left back, Tolonu. And now Cape Verde, it'd be advised just to slow things down just a little bit, not too much. Don't want to risk any yellow cards. Vuzinha urges his teammates upfield. Looks to clear the halfway line, which he does easily. Christopher Wu, commanding header. Nice touch by Boyomo. Silky skills, buys time and creates space. Desperate foot to clear the danger. Not for long though. But one back by Bomo. Eventually, he gets the decision. Well, he was looking for it, was Baleba. Free kick. They draw breath. Nkudu dinks the ball into the penalty area. Well dealt with. Vuzinha collects. Cheers from the home fans. Nothing Nkudu could do about that. Vuzinha looks in trouble though. Teammates call for the stretcher. Points to his jaw. Well, if that's damaged, that's a freak injury. Let's take a second look. Good delivery by Nkudu. Now he's got to go for it. Well, I jumped to the defence of Enzo Boyomo. Could he have done more to get out of the way? The team doctor carries out some basic checks. let's look at the goal again. Terrific run. He ran half the length of the pitch, did Livramento, leaving behind him the central defenders. And you could see the panic in Enzo Buomo. What a finish. Brave header by the captain, Ryan Mendes. Mendes battling away. There's Buomo, the only man to keep his place in the back four after the victory against Espartini. Here he is again. Plays the ball into space to Christopher Wu. Anguissa keeps the ball moving. Kudu shapes up for the shot. Straight at the defender. Tidied up by Yannick Semedo. One for Livramento to chase. He does. Free kick. Buomo manhandling the goal scorer. Yellow card for Buomo. And that's going to change the rest of his game. Livramento urging the fans on. Terrific speed on him, this striker, Livramento. Enjoy it again. There's the push, clearly fouling. Well, he's been done once. Didn't fancy being done again. And a free kick to Cape Verde. In a good position. 2 players on the ball. Substitute Montero. Montero it is. Delivery in, good header. Well, good-ish. And they've got the corner kick. Ryan Mendes with a header. Referee ruling it came off somebody. Montero has just taken the free kick. Now the corner kick. Referee's assistant. I can see why Montero's upset. Just about to take the corner kick. Referee's assistant gets in the way. A little bit of argy-bargy in the penalty area here. Everybody involved. Sandbags at 10 paces. Livramento. All emotions are running high. Looks like Christopher Wu is in the thick of it. Anguissa as well. Anguissa's doing up his socks. He's in conversation with Dini Borges. And it'll be a yellow card for Borges. Second yellow card in as many minutes. Full name is Edilson Borges. He goes by the nickname Dini. There, Kevin Pena. Christopher Wu gets a yellow card as well. Both central defenders in the book for Cameroon. Now we can have the corner by the substitute Montero. Deep, very deep. Onana clears it, not convincingly though. No matter. Referee's whistle's blown. Spotted an infringement. Suddenly Alessio da Cruz starts warming up on the sidelines. Sprang off his seat there in the dugout. All the way back. Onana plays out of his area. Christopher Wu hits the long ball. Accurate as well. End-to-end stuff for Cameroon. Corner kick, in fact. Protests by Cape Verde. And Semedo. Willie Semedo. It looked a good decision. Got the last touch after Chachua's cross. And now we'll see that substitution. The captain, Ryan Mendes, makes way. Well, it's actually Elio Varela. It's a change. Well, there were question marks about Ryan Mendes' fitness. Didn't play in the previous victory at the end of last week. But he's done his bit. And Bomo with the corner kick. Swung in. Good delivery and a great take. He spilled it though. Falls kindly on Kudu. But it's so wide, the ball's still in play. Wild shot. Bomo beats one. Not two. Loose ball, 50-50. Picked up by Cameroun. Shot comes in! And just wide of the post. Good effort, good pressure by the indomitable Lions. They're getting closer. Well, he had his post covered, in fairness, did Vozinha. Good shot, though, by that man. Piling on the pressure from defence, from central midfield, Carlos Baleba. Good strong header one in the Cameroon defence. Spots of aerial tennis. And Gisa feeds Bomo. One-on-one. Well played, really well played by João Paulo. And Cape Verde get the throw in as well. And Gisa can't believe it. Great play by João Paulo. Because Bomo, he's powerfully built. He's no shrinking violet. Double substitution for Cameroon. Come the hour, come the changes. Off goes Ongla. On comes Franck Magri, the man who plays his football in Toulouse. Ongla and Ngudu off. On comes Namaso and Magri. Namaso will replace Ongla. Magri will replace Ngudu and go up front. Magri, as his name suggests, is a centre forward, as these numbers suggest, the number 9. A little bit of space for the Blue Sharks. Forced backwards. As long as they can keep Cameroon in their defensive half, that'll do nicely. They're being forced to go back into their own half. Here's Roberto Lopez. Well, a hopeful ball. More than anything else. Masso is very much an offensive player. I think he's a centre forward. Here he is replacing a defensive midfielder. But desperate measures require desperate remedies and all that. Bomo teasing ball in. Lopez only partially clearing it with his head. Magri, good duel, and he concedes the goal kick. Or does he? Well, neither the players for Cape Verde on the pitch or off it can believe that decision. Bubista. Magri gets a second chance, but can't use it. Now Cape Verde come away. Thought about playing down the line, instead makes a cross-field switch. Good move, good vision, good technique. Down the left come Cape Verde. Severely outnumbered, and that's why they go back looking for support. Well, they didn't create anything, but they're still in possession. Roberto Lopez goes back to his goalkeeper Vozinha. Vozinha, confident with the ball at his feet, less so with his pass. And Cameroon might pick up on that. Signs of fatigue in the Blue Sharks game. Cape Verde, some tired limbs. A ball played over the top. Ding forward, looking for Magri. Keeps his balance. Well, they missed the follow-up, 50-50, lost by Cameroun there. Well played, terrific play. Keeps his head down. By that time, it's Cameroun who win the foot race. Chachua. Well played, because he's starting well behind the counter-attack there. Jackson Chachua just joined Wolves in the English Premier League from Hellas Verona in Italy. Unlike Cape Verde's players, a lot of these Cameroonians play in the top European leagues. Onana and Bomo at Manchester United. Well, Onana not for much longer. Abubakar, he has done. Currently without a club. Magri in France's Ligue 1. Anguissa with Italian champions Napoli. Baleba at Brighton in the Premier League. Hugging the byline. Appeals. Well, Livramento looks in trouble here. Cape Verde prepare to make another change. Heriberto Tavares, maybe a double change. Who'd be a football coach? Mark Brees. Well, this is when they earn their money. Taking his time with the throw. Not surprisingly, Cape Verde go into the corner. Now they go back. Eventually the cross comes in at the far post. Well, it's well dealt with. Morera. Back to Semedo, Yannick Semedo. It will be a double substitution when it comes. Nearly. Livramento not winning out that time. Just under 18 minutes left to play here in Praia. We're at the National Stadium. Just got to reinforce the idea of the David and Goliath. It's Franck Magri. Picks up the attack for Cameroun. Anguissa. Nomuchon plays it simple to Abuma. That's a lovely ball inside. Penalty! No, says the referee. Dismissed it. Out of hand. Not interested at all. You've got to say, not if it's not a penalty, should be a yellow card. As Cape Verde on the attack. Look at Burmo. Created that pass, which led to the penalty appeal. Here he is back in defence. Eventually it helped out by the regular fullback Chachua. And Anguissa dropping down to help. The experienced players coming to the fore for the indomitable Lions. Magri stretched out wide. He's been a direct replacement on the left wing for Nkudu. He plays as a centre forward for his club Toulouse in France. Christopher Wu, also based in France. Anguissa. There's a switch. Good chest control by Magri. Quickly shadowed. A little bit of space here though for him. Well, he was almost surprised by the ball. Surprised by the space rather. It's a poor ball. Worryingly for Cape Verde. One of their players. Well, I thought he was about to collapse down on his haunches. Bobista not happy with the delay in these substitutions. 15 minutes to go. Clock's ticking down. This would be a memorable victory. Should have told you, in the head-to-heads, Cameroun clearly lead. These teams have played 4 times. Cameroun have won 3 times, with 1 draw. One of those victories in the reverse fixture in Cameroun. Only been 1 victory, only been 1 game rather, here in Cape Verde. That was won by Cameroun, but you have to go all the way back to 2008 for that. That was before Cape Verde became the force they are in African football. Burmo, nice idea, beats one, but not two. Good 50-50. Well, I say that, one by Boyomo. His boot was raised, his studs were up, and he's on a yellow card, remember. Now we can have those substitutions with just under 15 minutes left. There we see Heriberto Tavares, and it's Yannick Semedo making way. So Semedo and the goal scorer, Dylan Livramento, coming off, replaced by two Tavareses. Tavares is a very common name here in Cape Verde. Nice turn. That got the fans' juices flowing. Now that's not like for like. Alison Tavares, he's a defensive midfielder. So the tactics are clear from Cape Verde, from Bubista. They're going to try to tighten up the defence, and it's not without risk. You need an outlet. There are just 13 minutes left. Cameroon, well, if the scoreline stays the same, they will fall 4 points behind Cape Verde. Burmo being one of the brightest sparks for Cameroon. The fullback, Chachua, teasing ball in, just over the head of talismanic striker Abubakar. Anguissa, he too has been standout. Anguissa and Burmo, they've put in tremendous shifts. There's a switch, looking for Magri. Except it's not Magri. Magri's gone inside. A chance of a counter for Cape Verde. One-on-one, brilliant play. Dances past the non-existing defending. Cuts back. Still the chance is alive. Heavy touch. That's a pity for Cape Verde. Really was. Simply could not control at the crucial moment. That was a substitute, Varela. And Montero, didn't he do well? Substitute about to come on for Cameroon. Well, Abubakar making way. Had a quiet game by his standards. He's replaced by Christian Basogog. Who started the previous game. Christian Basogog has just got over 10 minutes to try to snatch an equaliser for Cameroon. That was a decent ball in. The kind of delivery that defenders hate to deal with. Played in with pace at an angle on a very slippery top surface. And that could have gone anywhere. Great ball in. Not a bad first touch by Basogog. Bomo to swing in the corner, which he does well. Good header on, beats everybody. Flashed across the penalty area. First time pass by Moreira, it's a very good one. finds Montero. The counter-attack is on. It's 3 against 4. Cameroun surging backwards. Can Cape Verde make it count? The cross comes back. Nobody there. Well, it's all well and good beating your man on the byline, but the final pass is just as important. And there, it wasn't. Pace lacking. Players going down with cramp in midfield. It's Christopher Wu. That's great wing play, but the cut back was to nobody in particular. If he finds his teammate, that could have been game over. 10 minutes left. Some very tired looking players out there here at the Praia National Stadium. I remind you, Cape Verde, an island off the west coast of Africa, a group of islands with a population of under 600,000. They lead 1-0 against Cameroun with a population of what, some 22 million. This will be one of the great results in Cape Verdean football. Cape Verdean history full stop, I dare say. Wu. Libya, of course, will be loving this. They're just a point behind Cameroun. Libya next face Cape Verde in October. That's an away game for the Cape Verdeans. They'll take their time here. Sensible play. Really sensible play by Kevin Pina. And then he doesn't bother taking the free kick. All part of the game. All these gestures help to count down the clock. That clock is on 82 minutes. Acrobatic clearance. Magri does well. Now that Abubakar's gone off, Magri has gone into the middle. And down. Whistle blown. Free kick Cape Verde. Well, that was clumsy. And Cape Verde will accept the gift very gratefully indeed. Willie Semedo. Maybe he knew what he was doing as well. Here they come again. This to finish the game. Blazed over the crossbar. Montero. He's had a good game since coming on, hasn't he? Cameroun, get on with it. They have to. Unbeaten coming into this game. Despite that, trailing Cape Verde by 1 point in the standings. And mainly as a result of those 3 draws away from home. It's a good return pass. Ball delivered in. This is the chance. So close. It really was as well. Christian Bassogog thought he had a clear header. Cape Verdean defence had other ideas. Buzinho. That's good team play. Bassogog makes his move. And then that challenge. Now, he didn't actually get the ball, did Moreira, but he just did enough to put Bassogog off his stride. Now, what's happening here? Seems to be confusion. Willie Semedo, he can't be coming off, he's just come on. It's well played. Now, there's definitely a flashpoint on the sidelines. You've got 2 more substitutes about to come on. 4th official trying to lay down the law. Easier said than done. This is Willie Semedo. He leaves it to Moreira. Moreira will take all the time in the world. Long throw. Comes to nothing. Straight back to Cameroun. Well, they do have substitutes to play with Cameroon with 5 minutes left, and we could see 2 of them on the byline. They've got to do something. Could be the last throw of the dice. There they are, waiting patiently. If the ball refuses to come down, that's a wild clearance by Anguissa. That's a sign of tightness. Woo! Now! Does he get the decision? That really seemed to be 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Onana, sensing the emergency, rushes out. Judge for yourselves. Well, Wu definitely tugging at Montero's shirt there. I think they've got lucky there, the indomitable Lions. 4 minutes left of regulation time. Basogog. He's playing left wing now. That was telegraphed. Might still get the ball in though. Good delivery by Tolonu. Bomo. Great close control. Actually showed too much of it there. But his feet were so fast he managed to get away with it. Now he's being helped out by his fullback, Chachua, who wins a throw-in. Nervous energy coursing through the veins and bodies of these Cameroonian players. They don't want to finish up in the lottery. A finishing second. Bomo, is he making his way off? It's a diversion. No, he is. Bomo is off. Cameroon's best player about to be replaced, as is Christopher Wu. Well, that's a turn up for the books. On comes Ngamalu and Castelletto. Long throw comes in. Good punch. Force of Anguissa, who can't control. He might get a shot here. Appeals for free kick. Dismissed by the referee. Castelletto in the thick of the action. Now a chance. 1 against 1. Slows it down. Lovely silky skills. The pass isn't accurate. And that was a chance. Semedo. Oh, that's surely handball. But the decision went Balaba's way, so he gets away with it. Just over 2 minutes left. Look at Onana. Well, probably a good decision, all told, by the referee. That foul on Balaba by Tavares. Well, this is frustrating for Cameroon. Deep down, you think Cape Verde are actually enjoying it. Good two-fisted punch by Bozinha, the experienced goalkeeper. And he really is a man, 39 years of age, leaning on that considerable experience. Over 70 caps for his club, for his nation, forget club. But they do have a club-type atmosphere about them, Cape Verde. Casual header. Well, communication breakdown there between the two players. Bozinha, not criticising them, just telling them to sort it out. That was the two left-sided defenders, João Paulo and Dini Borges. We're into the closing minute. Mbomo's gone off, so it'll be Basogog with another in swinger. Good delivery, different to Bomo's. That was low, but with as much whip. Cape Verde be warned. Quickly taken, clever corner. Ball dinked in. First header is good, only as far as just outside the penalty area. Got to double mark him. Little nutmeg, they come away with it. Great run. Semedo. Semedo, clever switch, accurate pass. We're into stoppage time. They go for goal, into the penalty area. Great save, the rebound. Oh, he's put in the side netting, Semedo. That was a chance to kill the game. 5 minutes of stoppage time added on. Golden opportunity for Cape Verde to dream of the World Cup. It was on target, great save. Semedo, Willie Semedo. Well, Onana did everything a goalkeeper should. He made himself look big, forcing Semedo to go for the angles. Score by mistake, had to be on target. Here come Cameroun again, that's a lovely delivery by Anguissa. Good strong play to deny the left back Nuu. Good play, Dini Borges. Surely it'll give you a long throw. Maybe not. Nuu waiting for a runner. He gets it. What's Semedo doing? Amateurish defending by Semedo. Just about got the ball off in the nick of time. Desperate ball in. No art to that. Look at that. Baleba, the last line of defence, apart from Onana, the man on the ball. He's hobbling. Good header one. Semedo. Well, he had more time than he realised there. That's not a great ball out. Should have played that to the angles, to the byline. Here come Cameroun again. Tolo Nuu. Spilled by the goalkeeper, Vuzinha. Shot comes in. Side netting. 3 minutes of stoppage time left. Vuzinha looks exhausted. Needs a helping hand up. Bubista. It looks the coolest man in the ground. On the outside. More fun and games on the sidelines as the crowd really crank up the decibel levels. Good strong head up. Desperately hooked forward. Roberto Lopez. Another header won by the home side, that time by Moreira. Man down. No free kick, says the referee. Long ball, pumped forward. The edge of the penalty area. Crucial interception. End-to-end stuff. This is heart-in-mouth football. 2 minutes left of the 5 minute stoppage time. Here's Tolo, Nuu Tolo. Teasing free kick. Goalkeeper spilled it. Shot. Ripples aside netting. Cross comes in from the right. Onana's up there. Shot comes in. What's he doing? Why didn't he pick it up straight away? Apologies by Magri. That's decent. Vuzinha clears, but why didn't he pick the ball up? It was hardly a back pass. Good idea. Onana's off his line. Cleared. And the ball goes out of play. End-to-end stuff. Cameroun defender collapses to the ground. Corner kick comes in. Onana gets ahead to it. Magri follows up with a header. And why didn't he pick it up there? Eventually he did. What was he waiting for? The fans of Cape Verde, they believe. The blue-shirted fans of the Blue Sharks, they're waving their flags. They are 40 seconds away from their most memorable victory in a World Cup qualifier. Cameroun, they've got to get it upfield. Otherwise, they'll be playing catch-up. Great foot in by Dini Borges. Throw in to Cameroun. Last chance saloon for the indomitable Lions. And they've misplaced it. They've lost the ball. Semedo, will he go for goal? Or will he go for the corner? In the end, didn't get a chance. Onana takes the ball out of his penalty area. Hoiks it forward. Anybody will do. Vuzinha, great play. Terrific goalkeeping. Well, after Livramento, there it is! Final whistle! Oh, what a result! What an evening for Cape Verde! Joy of joys! They've taken the scalp of the mighty Cameroon. Bubista celebrates. This is David against Goliath. Final score here. Cape Verde 1, Cameroon 0. And they'll be celebrating all over the islands. They're celebrating on the pitch. The flares have been lit. Fireworks will follow. No doubt they'll raise a glass in the bars on this small archipelago of islands. What an evening. What a result. What a performance by Cape Verde. This will go down in the annals. It'll go down in the record books. The evening Cape Verde took a mighty stride towards World Cup qualification. As it stands, they are 4 points clear of the almighty Cameroon. Who would have thought it? What a performance. What an evening. African football. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Wonderful stuff. And what a difference in halves. The first 45 minutes was a damn squib. Here's the goal. Wonderful, wonderful run by Livramento. And what a finish. Terrific finish to cap a long burst. He went half the length of the pitch. Well, you can hear the animated shouts and screams from these emotional supporters. What a result. It's unbelievable. Truly. Cape Verde are now on 19 points, 4 clear of Cameroon. Next up, they play a tricky game against Libya. As for Cameroon, their run-in is easier. Home against Angola, away against Mauritius. But have they left it too late? What an evening. What a result. What a performance. Well, I sincerely hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. And what a contrast between the two halves of football. First one, petered along. Barely got going. Second half, sprang into life. Livramento